All right, we're back working on this Ford Escape here. It's 2013. We've got some coolant leaks and about 3 different places up here. I'm going to show you what we got. Okay, and if you know these cars, you got a lot of things to remove just to be able to see anything. So I went ahead, I got the battery box, all that out of the way, and just kind of pulled it out, pulled the duct, the air box and everything, yanked it out over here. And I had just a minor drip down underneath, but upon coming in here and inspecting this, you can see the coolant that is sitting down there below the oil cooler. Now when I did this, I put had some new seals for the lines, and I put some hose clamps, but I didn't replace the coolant lines up here. And but what happened was this one right here, this is like a one piece. It's leaking here. It is leaking back over where it goes up to the heater core. Let's see, it's leaking also right here. So this is a one piece. See, it goes up there, it tees going to the heater core, comes down here. They have an updated design. I'll show you in a minute. And also, gosh, there's so much stuff in the way. We got this one right here that decided to leak. So they just have these O-rings, and I thought about just cutting it and putting a coupler in there or replacing this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do because I have slack, but we're going to see about it fixing that, and then we're just going to replace this one over here. So let me show you the part I've got. So I got this at the dealer, and you know, these aren't real cheap, these hoses. You see that CV6Z 18472AB, that's the part that you're looking at. And here's a bigger number you can actually read. But this is the updated version. So this is what this looks like, where it tees, goes up to the heater core. And this here is what they changed. They just put this piece, instead of having a connection, they just put a piece going directly in, and basically this spout here ties into these and these, and then goes to this piece without having another quick connect, which rules out one of your O-rings to fail. Now they usually have a little bit of silicone paste or something in there, but if you don't, you'll want to put something in there to make sure that those don't get torn when installing it. Alright, so we got us a drain pan under there. We're just going to start here with this bypass valve. I'm just using this little pick tool. Gotta get a hold of it to pull it up there. And sometimes they're not real easy. You can see. Alright, so there, I've got it pulled up that far. It should come off. So we'll lose some coolant, but draining it really does no good, because it's going to come out where it's going to leak out. Okay, because this old version has the quick connect right here, I'm just going to take it loose here for starters. We will have to get that other part. And if they keep wanting to pop it back down on you, then you can just pull it completely off. I'm not reusing it anyway. Right, I think I need another tool. Okay, let's see if we can push it off. I had to readjust my pan there. So the reason that I had actually found this, it was a small leak that was coming out of here, but I had been monitoring the coolant and it was losing a little bit more. I kept filling it thinking it had some air, but turned out these started leaking. Alright, so the next thing we're going to get on is this band right here. If I can get in here. pliers. I may have to get some shorter ones. I think I'm going to remove a few more things that are blocking my view here. This will kind of slide off, clip that, and then it's got this clip. Pull that green clip back or off or something. We're going to set that out of the way. If you got like the right pliers for the job, like those long handled locking ones, it makes things a lot easier, because this is meant to lock and it's easier to get those in there. And I don't think I'm going to be able to get it to lock with these. And I can tell you, getting the clamp is half the battle. The other part is getting this hose off. Now, a lot of times I like to use a heat gun. I think this is plastic. So I think I'm going to get my heat gun and heat this up and see if I have any luck. Alright, so we got this set on about 3. So that when it's plastic, you don't want to get it too hot. And we're just going to have to heat it up for a little bit and use our screwdriver or pry bar that we got over here. Once we get it heated up, it should start moving. It's a lot easier than fighting with it, and more especially in these areas where you can't even hardly get. It's difficult to say the least. Alright, so I'm just pushing back here. Now we do have another hose attached, so we're not going to be able to get it loose just yet. We got the little bitty hose back there. Alright, so there's the other one right back there. We got to figure out how we can get to it. This one back in here is pretty tough. I was pulling on it and broke it, and basically I was coming in here with some needle nose trying to get this clamp to relent. Okay, I finally got it by yanking and pulling the clamp and everything. So this is probably one of the worst. You see the spout there, and we got this. Now we just got to get up there and twist. You have to lift up. Now these have a clip that's on the top and bottom. You have to lift up here, and at the same time you have to lift up on the one on the bottom, so you can kind of hold. They're not too bad once you get the hang of it. You got to push the one on the bottom because it clips in. Okay, I think I may have broken the one on the bottom there. Let's see what happened. We're going to twist this counterclockwise. So we got it turning just a little bit there. We might be able to get some pliers. It is moving. I just got to get it to the other square part there. There's like another little notch that it goes into. It's just, there we go. That should be it. So from here, I should be able just to wiggle it off. Alright, so there we have it. See, there's it starts out up here in this little notch, and then you got to twist it around. Yeah, you don't even have to push in on these tabs. They will turn. They just barely lock in there. It just turns from there to there. Now you can put this one on in the lock position or not. It's going to snap on there. But you just want to make sure that it is locked. At least I think you can put it on in the lock position. Could be wrong. I'm just going to unlock it. Lock it once I get it up there. Okay, so I went back in there and kind of tucked it under this. And the very first thing I'm going to do is push that little one on. Well, I'll probably have to do the little one and the big one at the same time, but they're both going to be equally as fun. But the clamps, you lock them once you get it in place. So I'm pushing the little hose all the way on first. And you can just kind of feel it as it gets seated. And then we'll trigger these clamps. That's the way it comes. They're already on there. They just have to be triggered. I will say the bigger one here is no easier to get in place. So you just want to make sure you got them both pushed on there good all the way. Push it all the way. Give this a twist. Okay, so I stand corrected. It's hard to twist it once it's on there. Go ahead and twist, lock it, and then push it, and it'll just snap right on. All right, now we just pop our bypass in here. Just like that. Now we got to get trigger our clamps. All right, so both of them, you should be able to just take your pliers and watch your finger. All right, so we'll get the little one. I'm probably not going to be able to show you that because it's impossible to see. Okay, so I've got the clamps triggered and got the one in the back there triggered. Triggering those things is the least of your problems. That's relatively simple. So we got this all hooked up, and the next thing we're going to move on to is getting to this hose right down here. You see, we may have to move a few wires over and unclip them and get them out of our way and get this sensor out of the way, because I'm going to have to pull this up, pull some slack. I don't want to disconnect it up there because it wasn't leaking. I don't want to disturb it. So I'm going to try to just pull it up here, and we'll cut the end off. And I think we've got enough slack. I've done this on another vehicle, another Ford Escape, and it worked out. So we're going to do that. Now I could cut both of these ends off and simply couple them together with a 3/4 coupling or whatever, but I've got a quick connect, so I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to put it on there. Okay, so I just disconnected that coolant sensor, kind of pushed them up here out of the way so I can actually see. And we're going to go in there, get that clip. just going to push this back here. Okay, we can leave that one down here. We just needed this part up here so we can cut it. Now we do have a little bit of slack to work with, so we're still going to try to cut as close to this as we can. We're just going to try to cut it straight, cutting right around the back side of this. See, I cut it right at that right there. So it makes a nice straight cut too. Now this end will be slightly bigger, but when I put my barb fitting on there and put a little clamp, it's going to snug up just fine. Okay, so we're getting ready to get this connector on here. I'm going to have to leave you a link. I had this one laying around. I do not even remember what I got this for, but I know that it's the same sort of connector as this other one. So here's the old one. And what matters is this inside part. So we're going to go ahead and we got it pulled up there. We're going to go ahead and get this put on the hose and get it clamped down. Okay, and I made sure that I turned this clip up where I can actually get to it. All right, so we're going to snug this up a little bit. All right, now we just got to stuff it back here where we can run it back underneath. Well, it's not real easy to get your hands in here to snap these together. I wish that I would have snapped that on prior to putting the hose on, maybe. I don't know. Either way, it'd probably been a fight. Okay, so I finally got down there and pushed them together. All right. So all I got to do is so I've got a few wires and stuff that I moved. We're just going to put those things back. Put our any hoses or anything we took loose, get the air box back in here. We've got fuel line, vapor line. Okay, I just want to show you, here's another part number. It's the same, it's a Dorman. I've used this before too, so that'll fix this one. All right, so my any hoses and connectors I've got except for this one. I think I needed that loose to get my duct in. We're going to work this battery box back in place. All right, so look at this connector. I'm going to attempt to slide this whole box back in like I took it out. Okay, so we're going to get our coolant filled back up. I'm just going to pour this back in. I filtered it with my paint filter. I'm sure we'll have to add some more, but we got it filled back where it was for now. Well, it's going to be hard to tell where it's leaking if I have any more new leaks. Not saying I don't, but I've got these 3 leaks I had fixed. We're just going to monitor this, but unless I can get it to the car wash and clean it off a little bit, it's going to be hard to tell if I have any new drips. So I'm going to crank it up, see if I can't work some air out of it anyways, see if I can spot any major leaks. Okay, so I've looked at the connections and they look good. I don't see any leaks going on other than the coolant that was already there. So anyways, that's going to do it for the video. I'm just going to monitor the coolant and make sure I don't have any other places where any pop up and just kind of go from there. But these weren't leaking initially when I'd put the transmission in, but I guess just disturbing them caused them to start leaking, so had to replace these. Now that one hose was like $80. I got it at the dealer. The other little piece, like 10 bucks, you can get those, so not too bad. Anyways, I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. As always, I invite you to subscribe, and thanks for watching.